Of basics and go and progress, and I think the basics they understood straight away, so I had to progress every time, and I was just blown away by this technical ability in Jakarta and Bali. I'm really impressed, and I want to come back and work again.
Okay.
Oh, that's a hard question. I think the standard in Indonesia is great. It's just, we've been around different environments. We've all just been around different environments, and I think every coaching experience is a learning curve. So I have learnt stuff from the Indonesian coaches.
Beberapa waktu lalu, AIA sebagai salah satu perusahaan asuransi terkemuka di Indonesia menjalankan coaching klinik di Bali dan di Jakarta. Ini salah satu kabar yang baik karena kembali lagi menjadi salah satu program andalan AIA untuk sepak bola untuk negeri. Dan hari ini kita akan membahas semua tentang bagaimana di balik layar. Tapi ada sesuatu yang sangat menarik bersama dua tamu saya yang sangat-sangat spesial, yaitu dengan Global Development Coach Tottenham Hotspurs. With my pleasure, I introduce Coach Shannon Moloney and Coach Jerome Bakee. How are you?
Good.
Relax, come on.
Yeah.
relax. Thank you for having us. It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant to be here. So thank you all for having us here.
Thanks a lot. I think it's like, from my understanding, Shannon, this is not your first time visiting Indonesia, right?
No, I've been here. This will be time number 3, but I have to say this is probably my favourite time that I've been here this time. Yeah, the other 2 were holidays, but this time has been amazing. I've seen so much more in these 5 days than I have the times that I've been on holiday, and I've met so many amazing people, so it's been brilliant to be here this time.
Nice. And how about you, Jerome? This is your first time?
First time in Asia, so I've never really been to Asia before.
Yeah.
So I started in Thailand, and now I'm in beautiful Indonesia. So yeah, I've studied, obviously, played in Indonesia and watched lots of games, but I've never really been to Indonesia. So first time, and yeah, hopefully not the last.
Okay, good to hear. I think it's like, so now I think my question is related on the program itself. How do you feel when you train kids, especially Indonesia for sure?
I mean, for me, I've been blown away by the talent, both in Bali and in Jakarta. The level of talent from the tiny ones, to the older children. I've been blown away by their technical ability. They listen so well, and just their ability to pick up instruction. And what I really noticed and what I really liked was the way they challenged themselves. So I'd given instruction, and some of the drills I did over the last couple of days, I've asked them to do different levels. So starting at level 1, and the tiny ones say, no, we're not starting at level 1, we're going to try level 4. So I've been blown away, by all the staff, by the participation of the players, the support from the parents and the carers, the support from you guys and AIA Indonesia. It's just been absolutely brilliant. I couldn't have asked for any more in this kind of 5 days. We've packed so much in and had such an impact on so many children and their families.
Wow.
And that to us has just been, phenomenal.
All right. So how about you, Jerome? I think like you have experience to train a lot of kids back in London, I think, but you are, you train the kids in Bali, Jakarta. How do you see the talent?
Yeah, for me, I had no expectations. I thought I'd come into this and just be open and see what the kids were like. But for me, tremendous. Like, I tried to incorporate our DNA, what we have at the club. So I thought, let me start off basics and go and progress. And I think the basics they understood straight away. So I had to progress every time, and I was just blown away by this technical ability in Jakarta and Bali. I'm really impressed, and I want to come back and work again.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you guys for obviously having us. That's the first thing, and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So AIA Sepakbola Untuk Negeri. I think that's the program for to build all the development football in Indonesia. And what's held again in Indonesia is we love to see it's like this program to be active again, and after being stopped due to the pandemic. So what do you think about this activity, Shannon?
I think that COVID had an impact on families, on children, on just everyone across the globe, and I think the fact that everyone can come back together again, and we're really inputting the AIA principles, of healthier, longer, better lives. So getting the children out there, getting them active again, them falling in love with football, engaging with the parents as well, and just being able to really get them back into football, because it was a tough 2.5 years of people being at home and trying to do football sessions online and being at home, and there's no better feeling than being on the grass. The support from AIA Indonesia to impact these children and impact their families, and you know, it was great to see the children starting so young. For us, it's really important that we get these, you know, the football into them and the healthy habits and all the different AIA principles that we can get into the children from very young. So when they grow up, you know, they can live the healthier, longer, better life, you know, starting from that young age. And hopefully with their friends, you know, they can start telling their friends and their families, and also for the parents and the people that look after the children, you know, to make the changes in their life that really do make them healthy.
Oh, nice. So Jerome, what training program for specific like the AIA is Sepakbola Untuk Negeri, but you know it's across the Asia also?
For me, I was impressed how many kids could understand technically what we were saying. So when the first camp I worked on yesterday and to the camp I worked, I was so impressed at how many kids could dribble, turn, shoot. I was very, very impressed with the ability that I saw today and yesterday, and I'm really, really happy to bring communities together. And yeah, really, 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 really impressed. So I think the technical ability was very, very high from start to finish. Really, really, really impressed.
Okay, for the football to help you know, the kids to reach their dreams, also AIA has always been committed you know, to creating young Indonesian footballers, and both of you are involved in it. And do you have any tips from Shannon first, maybe, to become a professional football player?
Okay, coming from somebody who's been in the elite game, there's lots of different elements, I think, but one of them I would say is to stay focused and keep practicing. From the younger children, it's just to enjoy the game. You know, that's inevitably what they need to do, and everyone who goes out and plays football needs to enjoy it. And I think for me, it's practicing, listening to your coaches. You know, coaches are there for a reason, and even the best coaches have coaches. Learning to use both of your feet, left and right feet, so making sure that you're a versatile player on both your feet. And I think as well, so it's not just what you do on the pitch, it's what you do off the pitch. So making sure that you eat the right stuff, you know, making sure you get your carbs, your proteins, your vegetables, your minerals, making sure you drink lots of water. So maybe putting the soda and the sweet drinks to the side, and making sure that you drink lots of water. And your sleep is very important as well. So when your body recovers and rests is when you sleep. So for all the players who are aspiring to be professionals and be in the league in Indonesia, a very professional league in Indonesia, or whether it's across the world, so listening to your coaches, making sure you eat right, train very well as well, listen to the coaches, practice as much as you can. So that would be my advice and what I did to be at the top level in the UK.
Oh, hi, and how about you, Jerome?
So I've worked at an elite level coaching wise, and I think what I tend to do to players is set goals. So what I mean by that is if you can dribble with your left foot, how many, say for example 10 times, then maybe can we go 20 times, and can we go 30 times. So setting goals is for me the best thing a player should do, because you shouldn't really be comfortable in just getting to a certain level. You should always want to progress. So setting goals is one. Asking for feedback. So as a player and as a coach, I always like players who come and ask for feedback, because it shows that they're intent and they want to listen. So asking coaches for feedback, I think that is a great example of a player who understands the practice and wants to get better. And just enjoy it. I think the best players I've worked with, the players who enjoy it. A lot of time we put pressure on players to strive and be hard, but if you don't enjoy football, then it's not going to come easy. So just enjoy the game. Enjoy the game, have fun, and all these things will come together once you have fun and you enjoy the game. That's my personal opinion. Yeah.
Nice one. And now I think we just want to know also, it's like, what is the difference coaching back in London and in Indonesia?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think the standard in Indonesia is great. You know, it's just, you know, we've been around different environments. We've all just been around different environments, and I think every coaching experience is a learning curve. So I have learnt stuff from the Indonesian coaches, and I hope that they've learnt something from me this time around. We structure our training sessions that we try to incorporate a lot of technical ability. So just being very comfortable, our players to be very comfortable on the ball, male and female. You know, so in the game situation, that's something you don't have to worry about. You know, your touch is good. Looking up, getting your head up. That'd be something I would say, just to get your head up. Make sure when the ball's at your feet that you know the next pass, or you know what move you're going to make next, whether that's a run, a pass, if you're going to take that shot. So that would be from me.
I think, speaking to the coaches, I think I was working in the academy back home, and our philosophy is a lot of touches and turning and twisting. So I think the coaches understanding that you can warm up with the ball. You don't have to just get into 4 lines and run back and forth. I think incorporate the ball from under 9s to under 15s. It's very, very important to warm up with the ball and to always have the ball, even when you're passing, when you're turning, just to make sure that the ball's always incorporated. Because I think a lot of times, especially at the younger ages, the coaches get the kids to do a lot of running, but the cardiovascular system is not really developed yet. They need to really focus on just touches and turning, because the fundamentals of football is very, very important. That makes sense.
All right.
So yeah, just lots of touches with the ball and making sure that they understand the technical elements of the game.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what is the most memorable moment? I think it's like as a player, as a coach, also is like to be experienced in the world of football.
For me, so I run a college education program. So it's a program for boys who finish school and to come and train by Tottenham coaches. And I've had 3 boys play in the Championship, so just below the Premier League. Yeah, I've had 3 boys who've just signed professional contracts for big clubs.
Okay.
I think for me it was nice as a coach just to work with these players and to see these players grow, and then to get the phone call from their parents. They've obviously gone and played in the Championship, so they've made their debuts as well. So for me it was a proud moment. I'll never forget that moment for the boys. Yeah.
And how about you, Shannon?
I'm going to say 2. Sorry, I'm going to be selfish here and take 2 moments. But I think one for me was winning the league at White Hart Lane with the women's team when I was playing. It had just been an amazing couple of seasons that we worked so hard, we gelled so hard. We were really lucky to have, the support of Tottenham Hotspur in everything that we did in driving forward in women's football, and really progressing the women's game. And then the second thing I think is an overall at the moment, the women's football globally, and how much it's progressing. How much more media coverage there is, how much more kind of sponsorship and endorsement, how much women are seen on the stage now as professional athletes kind of across the world, and something that I'm really passionate about driving and making even bigger and better. So yeah, and the Euros actually kicked off last night, and England won their first game 1-0 against Austria. So it's been a great start to the Euros as well for the women's game. Okay,
so speaking about the women's football, AIA also has got it's bigger influential also in this part of Indonesia, because they sponsor like one of the biggest club also in Indonesia. So what do you expect also from the women's player in Indonesia?
So for me, it's about, number one, enjoying it. About them seeing it's great that, I can hopefully meet them and see them. And I want them to know that if you can see it, you can be it. Mm-hmm. So if often females go to football sessions, and we did see, which was amazing for me, we saw some females across the coaching clinics over the last couple of days, and in particular there was one girl and she was phenomenal. Her technical ability, when we were in Bali, she was brave. Yeah. With lots of boys, she stood out, she was brave. Yeah. And I think for me, looking at the women's, I want them to know that they can be professional now, but it's hard work, it's dedication, and it's all the things, you need to do as an athlete. And for me, it's just about hopefully getting in and talking to them and sharing my experiences and my journey, to know that there is so many opportunities for them in football, and if they work hard enough, that they will be picked up by a team, and get into a really, really good program.
Nice one. So let's move our topic to Tottenham Hotspur now. I think I just want to know also, it's from the perspective of Jerome and Shannon also, it's Premier League is about to kick off again. Just what is your prediction for
me,
the team? Yeah.
I think Tottenham have invested well in regards to the stadium and the training ground, and we've got a great manager, Conte. Yeah. So I think for me, Tottenham have got a good chance of obviously, I say, finish strong in the league. I don't like to predict fourth or first, because I think Premier League's a very open league. Yeah. Hopefully Tottenham get in the top 3. That's my prediction. Champions League, I think we've got a chance as well with some of our signings. So I think Champions League, hopefully we make it all the way that we did last time. But for Premier League, I'm going to say number 2. Number two.
Wow.
How about you?
Yeah, I think similar to Jerome, the Premier League's a great league. There's lots of players, coming in. I've seen the signings across all the different teams. So difficult to predict this year. Obviously, as my club, and I call it my home, I want them to do the best they can this year. They've had excellent preparation. They've got excellent support from the club. They've got a phenomenal manager, and I'd like to see the men and the women, do some great things this year. And with signings from both the men and the women, I don't see why we can't achieve greatness this year. Yeah. So fingers crossed. We're rooting for them all the way.